Hey, Shalom Markins of Karmak Pash from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chakadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hope for the expression is truth and all sincerity. Okay, back with again with another video. I just want to get on the this topic with Nathaniel, Bishop Nathaniel, man, and his rise, right, to godhood, right, because these guys have lost their mind, man. They're surrounding themselves around this guy, this cult of personality, in IUIC, in Nathaniel, right? And they're idolizing, man. They're idolizing, you know. And in this truth, man, we're workers, man. We're all just workers, But they reverence him as some sort of god, And he plays into that, man. Okay, he loves being treated that way, right? He likes being exalted, right? But that is not meant to be our focus. That's not meant to be why we're here. We're not here to receive glory on this side, right? Now, there's men, in this truth, obviously, elders, apostles, that we hold in high regard because they're our teachers. But these are not men, especially when we're speaking about our own apostles, beginning with old apostle on down. They won't want our worship, man. They don't want our fucking they don't want us to be kissing their ass and fucking all that stuff, man. They say it repeatedly, man. Okay, we're not here for all of that. All this lip service and men's service and all that kind of stuff. We're not here for that, man. We're here to do here on the job, man. And we got men supervisors, if you will, on the job, and you listen to what they're saying. Yeah, do what you're told, innit? They're the ones instructing you. They're the ones, they're overseeing the work and so on, right? So yeah, of course, we listen to these men, we respect these men, but what IUIC do, man, is going way, 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 way too far with it, and yeah, it's off, man. It's hella off, and all it's doing is inflating Nate's ego and his pride and his sense of self-importance, right? And like I said, we're all just workers on the job, man. None of us are on a chariot yet. We're all fighting for our, to find out the revealing of who's gonna be on the chariot, So we were in there fighting the fight, but yeah, man, that it's cringy watching it all. Watching you parade around, watching your peoples, your congregation just feign on you, man. Like what the hell's going on? It is a cult of personality thing, man, and anyone that can't snap out of that, the Lord don't snap out of that, man, is gonna be destroyed with that congregation, man. All right, but let me just get into the scriptures. We'll start here, Matthew 23. I'm gonna get verse 2 here, and I'm gonna jump to 5. It's saying the scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, right? And I heard them even say, and I know, there was apostles have said, in the past, who certain men were King Marshall and that back at the old school and all that kind of stuff, right? But these guys, they one of them said in their orations, right? Because they're reverencing Nate so much, man. They were giving all these orations about why they're all suited up to the max. Nate riding the horses and that because he elevated, right? But anyway, one of them said, "Oh, we don't know if he's Peter or he's Elisha or Elijah or whatever they said." So saying that he could be Peter, and that saying that he's same as King David, same as King, in that vein, right? So same as Moses, they sit him, they put him in Moses' seat, man. He the leader, he the general, he the one, right? Just the same way the Comfy was coming, he was the God sent Comforter. General Yohana was the only general in Israel. All that talk, it's the same thing, and none of us like have that. Well, not willing. No one has that self-importance that we place on ourselves in this truth, man. That we just want to be the guy. Like we just want to be saved. Like I don't care about being the guy, and none of us should care about being the guy. We're just here to fulfill our roles, man. You know what I'm saying? And our elders and apostles, man, they show that, man. It's not about them, you know. It's not about us in the grand scheme of things. We're just here to do a job. Okay, we're workers, we're laborers, man. And laborers, you know, they're dirty, man. You know, we get all dirty. We get in the midst, you know, sweating and all kinds of things, man. We're not here to look pretty, you know. But yeah, you know, they sit. they want to sit in the seat of Moses, right? So I'm jumping down to verse 5. So, but all their works they do for to be seen of men, right? And this is what it garners. It garners that you know, that respect, but more than that, you know, it goes beyond that, as what we're seeing right now, right? It says they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogue, right? Like Nate loves this attention. He does. He loves his attention, man. I'd rather be humble and downplay the whole thing. Like he plays with it. He plays into that, man. That's why man sitting up on the horses. Why they make them crazy ass garments, making trying to look like they're in the kingdom and that. You know, getting speeches. You think this is what's crazy. You think that the disciples and the apostles back then with Yahweh Shai, you think they're gonna be sitting there giving each other orations, man, talking about how great they are. Bro, Paul and Peter, they would have shunned all of that, man. They would have cursed you all that, man. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't want to hear none of that. Okay, we're servants, man. They don't want to hear none of that. But no, you got time, you got liberty to sit there, hire out a venue or whatever, dress everybody up and start blowing the most smoke at someone's ass, man. It's like, what the fuck? And he just could be there smiling and posing and, what the hell is going on in here, man? What's going on in Israel, man? We ain't got time for this bullshit. We're fucking meant to be working. Ain't got fucking time for that shit. Right? They then love the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. Right? But be ye not called Rabbi. Right? And that's said they were kissing so much ass. It's like, Nate's the great, Nate the great. He the prophet. He the one. But we're not here to get adulation or admiration. We're not here for that, man. Right? It says, be ye not called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Yahweh Shai, and ye are all brethren. We're all brethren. So we're kind of equal on that sort of level. Like, we're all laborers, we're all workers. We have one master, the master's Yahweh Shai. Right? That's who we worship. But you can't even be bothered to get his name right. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Right? You can't bother to get his name right, but Nate, everyone knows Nate's name and kissing his ass. But anyway, all right, so we're all brethren, man, but there's obviously hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? Verse 9, and call no man your father upon earth, for one is your father which is in heaven. Right? Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Yahweh Shai. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. And we're waiting for this day. It's gonna come. Okay, it's gonna come. That Nate's, he's rise to, he's a Godhood, right? It's gonna come crashing down and really miserable for him. Right? He's allowed himself to be idolized, and like I say, he loves the attention, right? He's allowed it to happen, right? So whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, right? So he's gonna come falling down at some point. Okay, we all know this. Okay, it's just a matter of when, right? And he that shall humble himself shall be exalted, right? We're meant to have a humble attitude, man. We're not meant to put no self-importance, place no self-importance upon ourselves, man. We're just laborers, doing a job. We're nothing special, right? The Lord said he could raise rocks, man. We're nothing really special in a sense, all right? And, until we get on the chariot, man, we're just, what I'm saying? We're just people, man. We're just men, Men called to do this task, man, to teach this truth, man, and you can't even do that properly. But you want to get, you want to get all the exaltation for doing whatever it is that you're doing, supposedly as an Israelite, and it's just madness. Okay, man isn't smited, everybody in that school, and yeah, and that's why the end of it isn't gonna be of anything. All right, but yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna read that again. Whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, right? And he that humble himself shall be exalted. Okay, the humble approach is the best approach. Oops. Right? That's how we're supposed to be, humble, right? But when you got people kissing your ass so much and renovating you or reverence you as a fucking superstar, you know, you're gonna find it difficult to stay on the fucking level, man. And that's why we don't need it, we don't want it. The apostles, said they don't want that stuff. They got pictures, we got shrines to Nate. You know what I'm saying? Well, man, I'm crying and you know all of this stuff, man. You know, um, what was that one? Let me grab this quickly. Right, this is Revelation chapter 22, verse 9. It says, "Then saith he unto me, see." Let me read up. Verse 8. "And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which shewed me these things." Right now, Nate's a leader in his school, right? His congregation, and he's shown them many things. He's probably taught them many things in life and in scripture, and and I understand that people might appreciate him for certain things that he's done for certain people. I get that. People all get that, right? Same about all the apostles. You appreciate them, right? But even at this point here with John and the angel, right? The angel revealed these things to him, and John was like, oh shit. He didn't know what to do. He just bowed down and was like, because he's in front of an angel, man, a being of great power and revelation, that was being given to him. And so he bowed down to worship. Okay, but the angel was like, "Nah, G, get up. I ain't the one. I ain't the one you should be doing that to. I'm just a messenger." That's all he is. That's all we are. We're just messengers, man. Everything is through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, and these are the guys. These are the guys that are worthy of our reverence, man. Worthy of our worship. Okay, not amongst men. Right? So even an angel, the angel was like, let me read on, right? Verse 9, then say if he unto me, see thou do it not. Get up, man. Don't worship me. See thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant. He's just another servant. He didn't place no importance on himself. I'm just another servant, man. I was told to bring you this, bringing this message, this prophecy, and here I am. That's it, man. That's like, the postman come, he deliver you a letter, man. Oh, thank you, Mr. Postman. Thank you. Because, you got insurance claim or something letter. You got paid out, or, you thank you the postman. The postman just bring the letter, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, yeah, the angel was like, nah, right? And so I'm thy fellow servant and of thy brethren. Hey, we're brethren, right? Us and the angels were brethren, right? The prophets, and of the brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Worship God. That's who it should be reserved for. God, Most High and His Son, right? That's who it should be reserved for, man. I don't know, there ain't no need for all this. Like I said, uh, admiration and all this stuff here going on, making fucking ceremonies and shows and all this kind of madness just to fucking blow smoke at someone's ass, man. Okay, completely unnecessary, completely unwarranted. So even the angel was like, "Nah, man, don't do that." Okay, so how much more so just among men right now? We're not saved. We're not nothing special. You know what I mean? We're just men. This is Sirach chapter 3 verse 18. It says, "The greater thou art, the more humble thyself. Right, you need to try and maintain that humble level, man. You ain't trying to let things get out of hand, because obviously people are going to respect you and look up to you. You're in certain positions, in the street. People are, are going to do that, man. But especially on the comment boards, and you get it all the time. But we're not here to really entertain that, the idea of, oh, we're important like that, or we're special. We're not special. I mean, as Israelites, as far as Israelites go, yeah, we know we're special as Israelites, but like as a man, okay, we're not really special. Okay, we're just chosen, Lord willing. You know, we of the hopeful elect, man. You hope that we're chosen. But this is the fight that we fight to be part of that elect, right? So, you know, to seek our own salvation. So until that day comes, man, we can't really say, oh yeah, well, I'm this, I'm that, and I deserve this respect. And nah, man, we're just here doing the work. We're all working. All right. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. And that's whose favor we're looking for, man. We're not looking for Nathaniel's favor. We're not looking for none of that stuff. We're trying to do what's right by the Heavenly Father and His Son. That is what we're trying to do. So being humble is part of that. Keeping that humble spirit is part of that, rather than getting carried away with yourself. And that's obviously what's happening to Nate and his congregation. There's just, going too far with it, man. Far, far too far, right? So many are in higher place of renown, right? Nate sits at the top of his thing, all right? But mysteries are revealed unto the meek, and this is why, or part of the reason why, he ain't got the full scope. He ain't got the 100% truth, and they know that. They know that, right? Because they'll take jabs at the fact that we say that, But the mysteries are revealed unto the meek. If you ain't meek, man, the Lord ain't gonna show you everything, man. You know some things, yeah, for sure. But you ain't got it all. Right? So for the power of the Lord is great, and He is honored of the lowly. But you're trying to exalt yourself, make yourself, closer to God in the terms of like, oh, status or whatever. Now the Lord is dealing with the lowly, man. Those that don't think they're shit. Those that don't actually feel like they were shit, man. But yeah, not Nate. It's Romans 12, verse 3 says, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, and this is Paul speaking, right? To every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. Keep yourself on the level, man. Paul done a lot of, of the ministry, man, going out there to the Gentiles, the Israelite foreigners. He went all over the place teaching, right? He did a lot. You could say he was a pivotal or crucial member, in the ministry, man. Because, he was getting out there, man. He was doing all of that. You could say that. But even he himself would understand, look, man, I'm just, he'd be humble, man. I'm just another servant, man, that was called to do this, man. I'm just doing the task I was given. The Lord gave me understanding. Like, Paul would never look at himself and say, well, when I did this and that, and and make himself more important than he really was, or that the Lord was even trying to make him. Again, we're just servants, man. But some of us want to be kings, and and I say, we all want to be kings because we're all gonna be kings, man. But like some people want to be kings in this world, man. Feel like a king in this world. Okay, we don't give a damn about that. We know we're gonna be, hated and disrespected. Like, we're fine with that because this place is gonna be destroyed anyway, man. That's part of the reason why we want it to be destroyed. Want it to be destroyed, man, because of all this fucking bullshit that goes on around us. But these guys, they're comfortable, and Nate sits a king in his congregation, and that he loves it. He loves it, right? This is So every man that is among you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. Right, so we're meant to be sober, man. We need to, get these reality checks in, man, and just realize, look, man, you know, I ain't shit, man. I'm just another servant doing the work, man, and I ain't saved yet. So, let's hold that off. let's hold the celebrations off, man, until we get into the kingdom. Um, this is Luke chapter 14, verse 8. So when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room. This is a show of humility now, right? So you might even be important per se, but it says when thou art bidden to any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honourable man than thou be bidden of him. Right? You don't know who you're gonna be around, or you're gonna be amongst. You don't know where your position in this whole thing is. You don't know how important you really are, or what level you're really on, because it's all in the Lord's hands. It's all in the Lord's will, and our position is all governed by the Most High. And we don't know where we're all gonna sit. We know there's hierarchy, but we don't know where we're all gonna sit. Right? So it'll be presumptuous to think that, I can just go and sit here then, because that's how I feel about myself. I feel like I'm this guy, so I can sit here. We don't know shit. We don't know nothing in regards to that. So you might as well be humble and start at the bottom. All right. It says, "There's the more honourable man than thou be bidden of him, and he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room." Right. So another guy that's been given is of a higher rank than you. The Lord is given in this thing, right? And he said, "Look, man, can you get the seat up? This man's gonna be sitting here. You're gonna have to move, right?" And it's embarrassing, right? It's embarrassing. You don't want to be that person, right? You don't want to be told, oh yeah, you can't actually be here. You're not actually on that level, so you gotta go find a lower level to go sit on. That's embarrassing, man. So rather, save yourself the embarrassment, right? Because that's what's gonna happen with Nate. Nate's been exalted to the high heavens right now, man, but he can be embarrassed in the end. He gonna find himself not on a chariot. He gonna find himself in problems, man. He gonna find himself being coming back as the seed of the elect, and you're gonna have to take a lower seat, right? That's how it works, right? So it is, being humble is important, man. All right, being humble is important. So let me carry on. It says verse 10, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room. So when you invited to, in this case the wedding, right? Take the lowest room. Be humble. Just take the lowest room. No matter how you feel, or people you're sitting around where you feel like you're better than this one or that one, or whatever that ego shit is going in your mind, man. Fuck all that. Just go and sit down, right? So go and sit down, right? And then when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher. Like someone else is higher than you, better qualified than you to say, or to that knows your value or your importance, right? Have someone of a higher value come and tell you, look, you don't belong here. Look, come up with me, or come up to wherever. This is Yahweh Shai, speaking essentially, right? Yahweh Shai is the one that's basically gonna exalt us in the end. He's gonna place the crowns upon our heads, but we know the 12 are gonna be the 12, and they're gonna be above, the other Israelites, right? So there's rank in this hierarchy. So we're all gonna be given position in the kingdom. Okay, Yahweh Shai sits at the top. It doesn't need much explaining. But we're not meant to be presumptuous of where we sit in that scheme of things. This is verse 10. So, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher. Then shalt thou have worship. In the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. Right? And whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Right? Just keep yourself on that level, man. Keep yourself as low as you can in your mind. Right? Because you will be exalted in due time by someone qualified to exalt you. Okay, we're not here to exalt ourselves. You know, we're waiting for the Lord to do that for us. All right. So we're not meant to put no self, place some self importance on ourselves, man. Like, what the hell was that about? And like I say, you watch the scenes and that, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. All right. I've read that already. It's 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5, and it says, so let's read from verse 2, right? It says, feed the flock of God which is among you, okay, with the truth, with that good, wholesome, organic food, right? It says, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, right? Nate's immensely profitable in his endeavors. Okay, let's put it that way. Right? He's immensely profitable in his endeavors, right? There's a lot of money rolling around with him, right? That's why he can make everyone look like that. Um, we're not in it for the gain, but he uses the ministry as a means to get gain. So much so that like I said, it affects a man's mind and his ego. Okay. Neither as being lords of God's heritage, but being disciples to the flock. Right. So, like I said, this hierarchy, of course, but we're not here to lord it over the Israelites. We're here to rebuke, according to the word, not according to our own mind, right? Rebuking according to the word, because that's what we're meant to do. Show the children of Israel their sins, their transgressions. That's what we're meant to be doing, right? But we're not here as lords, right? We're here as servants. Okay, we haven't been made lords yet. Says, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, which is Yahushai, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. And that's what we're waiting for. I think that's the only thing missing on Nate is a crown. You got everything else going on, right? You just ain't wearing a crown yet. Man are on a horse, man are doing this and that. But we're waiting for Yahushai to receive glory. Okay, but some man, they're a bit preemptive, man. They want to get it now. They want to get it in now. Yahushua never received no glory on this side. And yet he's the king of us all, and like I said, Yahushua has to wait. Yahushua waited. We have to wait. But you want to make this little piece of heaven for yourself. Heaven is not an obtainable thing here. Right? But anyway, it says verse 5, so likewise ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Right? So you have to submit yourselves, there's order in this rank, right? Yea, all of you be subject one to another, right? And be clothed with humility. Okay, we're meant to be clothed with humility, man. These men are clothed up with ego, with pride. They gotta make sure them garments look sparkling. They gotta look the part. They have to, they gotta do all of that, man. But we're meant to be clothed with humility. It's not speaking in a literal sense, but we're meant to be humble and how they portray themselves is not one of humble, meekness or humbleness, right? Of humility, right? But God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the Lord's grace. You don't seem to be, don't seem on the top of your agenda. It says, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. But you got your whole congregation exalting you, making you feel good. We're waiting for the Lord to exalt us in due time. But we're not going to receive that now. Read all that. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. So these things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, right? Proud look, right? A lying tongue and hands that shed innocent blood. Okay, that proud look. Pride is a wicked thing, man. You know? I'm going to close up with this. Proverbs 16:5 says, everyone that is proud in heart, in their mind, is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished, right? So you got Nate, you got his congregation, and you just pumping this guy full of fantasy, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, craziness, and you people believe in him, right? That cult of personality's got everybody. That spell, you know, has been cast over all the congregation. You know, and I said the majority of them are gonna fall with him when the time comes, because they believed in this man. But this man can't deliver them. He can't save them. That's why the Lord told you to seek ye your own salvation, man, with fear and trembling. We're not here to please, you know, our leaders per se. You know, we're not here for. We're here to please Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, our elders and apostles are guides to us to do that, right? But they teach us the importance of humility, of staying humble. And some guys can't handle that, obviously, you know, because guys come in and go. But you know, we've always been taught it, and how to what's the word how to enact those things. Okay, but it's like with Nathaniel and the IUIC, it's like the complete opposite. Everything's revelry, everything's ego. You know, ultra ego, man. You know, everything's pride. And that ain't a formula that the Lord, you know, approves of. All right, so, you know, Scripture says what it says. All right, so, you know, with that, I'm going to say Shalom, Lord, when this was edifying. And I'll catch you, brothers and sisters, on the next video, man. So, till next time, I say Shalom.